Despite what the media has told you in 2025 about Warner Brothers' historic reign over the box office, 7 straight movies that debuted over, what was it, $40 million at the domestic, they just keep on making up metrics to make it seem like Warner Brothers, they're just the powerhouse. Warner Brothers is back after years of ineptitude and catastrophic amounts of debt. No, they're here because they need something to champion. They need something to wave their pom-poms at because they're despicable hacks that if they just simply told the truth, there might actually be some corrective efforts being made in Hollywood. But no. We just need to cheer for the stupid kid stuffing crayons up their nose, because eventually, hey man, they'll luck their way into profitability, because all of the people that are still working for these crash outlets, well, they also just got given their positions through nepotism anyways. But majority of Warner Brothers, okay, I just wanted to keep this in mind here for a second, but majority of Warner Brothers Discovery, $37 billion in debt will be spun off with TV networks, that CEO says. Because yeah, we talked about this, God, it was a couple of months ago, right? Or maybe it was a few weeks ago. This entire year is really running together. But how they're going to be spinning off in their basically their old legacy side of things, and then their newer the streaming and studio side of things, okay? And all of the debt was going to be put on, I guess, the profitable side of things with your live sports and cable networks, and then just let David Zaslav deal with this streaming mess and the franchises that are on life support. But no, it's going to be great. Everything's gonna be wonderful. Warner Brothers is definitely gonna pull out of this. Them turning into 2 separate, distinct companies is definitely the best way forward. That is, of course, unless somebody wants to swoop in and buy the sinking ship, because Paramount Skydance, it's not enough that they wanted to merge into one company. Hollywood shrinkage, oh yeah, this is another clear example that is very much on the horizon. But at the end of the day, I can imagine in about 5 years' time, there's going to be Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers, whatever the hell they're going to call. Who knows? This is just obviously, source says right now. But I'd imagine these conversations are probably going to start to pick up when Warner Brothers realizes that, yeah, oh man, Superman made $615 million at the box office, but it ended up returning. We lost how much money on it? No. But Variety and the Hollywood Reporter said that we made like $125 million on that. Oh, you mean that we actually lost money on that $300 million budget? Oh no, I'm sorry, $225 million in the $150 million marketing budget. You're saying that we lost money, but we told the media lower lie amounts for our budgets. You don't mean that we can't lie our ways to success? Oh shit, that's not how accounting works. Well, fuck. And I mean, don't look forward to next year when it's just a lot more franchise slop, but none of it, oh boy. Unless I have a bunch of other low-budget fare to prop up a bunch of expensive shit, because Supergirl, yeah, it's not going to do stuff. Maybe Clayface, and this is a big maybe, could offset the losses with Supergirl, which has looks to have the exact same budget that Superman had. And I think you also have Hunt for Gollum Part 1 coming out at the end of the year. Fuck. I don't want it whatsoever. I hope that, Skydance comes in and swoops in and buys Warner Brothers before they make that terrible decision. But yes, we're looking at a future where, yeah, Paramount and Disney are like the 2 titans of the industry, and they own everything. Because 2025 was supposed to be the year at the box office. It was supposed to save Hollywood. Remember, guys, survived till 25 after the strikes, after the shutdowns, after the booming banner year that 2019 was. Oh, you should have been able to just carry through all of that success. Even if there was a lockdown for a year, that's totally fine. We have so many great irons in the fire. We're just bursting at the seams with ideas that this party is going to last forever. And then by about the time 2023 rolled around and the year of the flopbuster was upon us, everybody started to look around and went, oh, why has everybody left the party? Why do we just have a dirty floor and there's holes in the walls right now? What the fuck are we going to do? Oh, right. And then you guys decided to shut down your industry for 6 months in 2023 and then just push everything off from 2024, leading to a very lean year, which is, by all accounts, still going to overperform 2025. And then 2026, bro, there is nothing coming out next year. A lot of bombs, not a lot to look forward to. But I digress. These are conversations with these other studios, the ones that are either over leveraged in debt or smaller mid-range studios. A lot of them are going to get gobbled up. there's going to be a lot of mergers and acquisitions here in the near future. But Paramount Skydance is preparing a bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. A source familiar with the matter told Reuters on Thursday, potentially bringing together two storied Hollywood studios and reshaping the entire entertainment industry. A bid for Warner Brothers Discovery would be backed by the Ellison family, which includes Skydance head David Ellison and his father, billionaire Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison, according to the Wall Street Journal, which first reported the news, citing unnamed sources. The audacious bid comes just weeks after Skydance bought Paramount Global for $8.4 billion, which is fucking chump change, man. You remember Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, rather. If we want to get real technical, Activision Blizzard King Entertainment for $69.4 billion. They bought the Gamer Studio for the Gamer number, fantastic stuff. But Paramount was only $8.4 billion. Kind of lets you know just in what shit shape Paramount is. One of the golden brands in Hollywood for less than many professional sports franchises. Okay, but yes, that would unite some of the best known entertainment brands under a single corporate shingle. Yes, bringing together DC comic superheroes like Superman or Nickelodeon's SpongeBob SquarePants, science fiction franchises like The Matrix and Star Trek. Yes, and to a major news network, CBS and CNN. But Warner Brothers has been trying to spin off CNN for a while. But more importantly, for Skydance and for Paramount, whatever we're calling that conglomerate at this point in time, Paramount Skydance, sure, we'll go with that. You also get maybe somebody that'll light a fire under George R.R. Martin's rotund ass, and maybe we could get some competent Song of Ice and Fire adaptations. You would have Harry Potter at your disposal, film adaptation rights for Lord of the Rings, and also, just by buying up, Warner Brothers Discovery, you would also piss off Amazon, so that could be fun as well. But yeah, I could also imagine that especially, because if this is to be believed as well, David Zaslav just simply wants a bidding war for Warner Brothers. Netflix is still in the mix, and yeah, of course, I mentioned them before. Why wouldn't Amazon want to be in on this? Because they need to recoup some reputation after stupid Jennifer Salke tanked it with her feminist poisoning of all of those great fantasy works, and of course, bringing all of the Lord of the Rings rights under one umbrella. Having full access to Harry Potter, having their own superhero juggernaut in DC instead of having to do Invincible and other knockoff brands, you know that they want that type of prestige. They are gagging for recognition in the entertainment field, so yeah, I could see that happening. It might be too steep of a price tag for Netflix, but maybe I just don't realize just how flush with cash Netflix is. But now the New York Post confirms what has been said all along. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav is setting the stage to sell the company, and the outlet adds he wants a bidding war to make it happen. Well, yeah, exactly, because, well, if there's any studio that's out there right now that looks to be in position to sell and could be the most lucrative, just simply from an IP and from connection standpoint, like Warner Brothers is it. You would want that if you're an entertainment company, and especially one that is competent and one that looks as promising and has a future like Paramount does. I mean, if anybody was going to buy it, I would probably be most okay with Paramount, and then probably Netflix, because when it comes to their quality, it's really a roll of the dice. And then right at the bottom would be Amazon, because, well, their track record is pretty shit. But anyways, recall, yes, how years ago, comic book insiders said that Zaslav's master plan was to split up Warner Brothers for sale, where he would retain Discovery. It's all unfolding exactly like my insiders had said. The latest was the Post that while David Ellison's Skydance is preparing a multi-billion-dollar offer to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery, Zaslav isn't planning to wait around. Instead, it's reported that Zaslav is meeting with his bankers at Goldman Sachs to drum up interest from multiple suitors, including Amazon, makes sense, Apple, of course, and yes, Netflix as well. Which is why, yeah, Paramount, they're probably drafting something up right now to enter into more serious negotiations. But yes, Netflix still in the running to buy Warner Brothers and DC. Okay, this lines up with what insiders and analysts have been pointing out. Netflix in particular continues to be mentioned as serious candidate. Because, yeah, Warner Brothers has sold off some stories and some shows to Netflix that they didn't want to air, but they've also had a working relationship with Amazon as well. It wasn't that J.J. Abrams produced the Batman animated Caped Crusader bullshit thing that came out earlier this year or last year? Regardless, it is so forgettable that Warner Brothers didn't even want it, and I think they peddled it off to Amazon. So yeah, there's that connection that already exists. But Netflix in particular continues to be mentioned as a serious candidate. According to a recent report by Variety, Wells Fargo analyst Steve Cahill named Netflix the most compelling buyer for Warner Brothers ahead of other major tech and media players, with Warner Brothers Discovery set to split in 2026. 2026, separating the studio and streaming divisions from its network assets. Netflix, another larger company, could be positioned to scoop up exactly the parts that they want: Warner Brothers Studios, HBO, DC, and the various sports contracts, including the NBA and NFL. Yeah, because Netflix has seen quite a lot of success. Most recently, they had that, was it Canelo Alvarez? They had the boxing match that ended up doing like big numbers, and when it comes to their other live programming, like WWE isn't exactly working out all that well. So if they can get their hands on some NBA and NFL licenses, I mean, totally makes sense if that's the avenue that they want to pursue. But yes, Paramount Skydance faces competition from tech giants. Zaslav's goal is to drive up the company's stock price to $40 per share. On Thursday, shares jumped nearly 30% after news of Ellison's bid leaked, closing at just over $16. He really wants to drive this bitch up. If bidding fails to hit the number that he wants, sources for the site say that Zaslav will leverage the stock surge to acquire more content instead. Interesting. Meanwhile, Skydance's offer has yet to be made official. Sources say that the site has Zaslav believes Ellison is trying to preempt the larger battle by rushing a bid ahead of other interested buyers. Makes sense. Because you would imagine, right? Like if the agreement price for Paramount was only $8.4 billion, you would have thought that Disney would have floated something out there. You would have thought that, yes, Amazon or Apple would have snatched that up. That totally makes sense. I forget what the going price for MGM was when Amazon bought them, but that was also pennies on the dollar. So yeah, maybe Zaslav is looking around at, the directory of IPs DC has and knows that, he could stand to make a lot of money with a merger. Stand to make a lot of money on a buyout. And in the case of Netflix, I would imagine that there's probably a lot of Snyder bros that are out there that are definitely cheering for Netflix because of their close relationship with Zack Snyder. So hey guys, maybe there is hope to revive the Snyderverse after all, for fuck's sakes. I cannot believe that we've circled all the way back around to that reality where it's not completely, totally dead. It's the fumble of James Gunn's Superman and the potential for Warner Brothers to be bought out by Netflix. I mean, crazier things have happened, right? Always hold out hope. I don't want it, but if it's going to happen, hey, we could all use a good laugh, right? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.